Hi everyone, this is Alpha Ali. Welcome back to the channel. Hope everyone's doing okay. So today I'm doing a VOD view. This is actually for Cozy, and it is a predicted high plat game. They basically put this is my place of the match on Midtown. I don't really know what rank. I really need to work on my movements as I feel like I'm dying way too much. Excited for my second ever VOD. Alright, Cozy. So obviously I'm just going to quickly run through a few things that people might not realise with Mercy changes. That's what's happened, especially if like you've gone from some of my season 11 VODs to my season 12 VODs, because there's been a rank reset. So if you do see that your rank is a little bit lower than normal, don't be afraid. You know, there's a full reset on everyone. You will climb back up once you start doing, like, you know, you start playing comp a little bit more, and you'll get back to where you're meant to be, basically. And, you know, just have fun climbing your Mercy. The second thing is that the Mercy's had a few changes with this patch as well. The first kind of, I guess, key thing is her health. Her health is now at 225 instead of 250. So it means that we do have to be a little bit, I guess, more cautious with how we're playing as Mercy. Remember, we don't have that extra 25 HP, so just make sure that we're still playing our cover really, really nicely. Now, to compensate this nerf, we have had a few extra changes. So Mercy now does 30% damage boost rather than 25, so it's reverted back to what it originally was. Absolutely amazing for Mercy. It means that we could push out a lot more damage. We could push the blue beam some more. We could also push just general damage boost on key abilities some more. Like, for example, in this team comp right now, we could push damage boost on deflect and dash. If Doom goes and punches in, if Widow grapples up, that kind of stuff. But obviously we had stuff like Hulk Hook and everything like that. We could damage boost that a lot more as well. The final thing as well with Mercy that's changed is her healing. It's now at 60 HP per second rather than 55. It just means that we can keep people topped up a lot more, and it means as well that we can flick on that damage boost a little bit more as well if we can. Alright, so those are kind of like the main key Mercy changes that we've got, just to kind of make sure that everyone's kind of on the same page. But if you guys do want your own Mercy VOD review, are you wanting your own free Mercy VOD review? I do them live on my Twitch for free at 2 PM UK on Sundays. They cost 7,500 channel points, which you simply get by just watching the streams. If you can't make it that time, then do not worry, as I also record them offline whenever I'm free, and all of them get uploaded to this channel. But if you guys want to see any of my own gameplay as well, you can visit my main channel. If you do need any help with anything, then don't be afraid to message any of my lovely mods on Discord. The links for everything that I've just mentioned will be down in the description. Now, back to the VOD. And yes, so I'll kind of like just get straight into it. We are using Mage right now, and I know that Mage isn't one of my favorites personally. I know a lot of people really like this one on like my channel, like my Twitch and everything. I'm not a big fan of it, but you know, I respect it, especially with the gold and everything. You know, I really, really do. So obviously, maybe Blue Beam is probably going to be our Genji, but we can damage boost our Widow every once in a while. Or just obviously try to keep up our Doom. My only thing is, throughout this entire thing, yes, obviously the Doom falls over, but that's not on you, okay? Because all you need to do here is you just need to be able to kind of like obviously play up here, play out of LOS up here. If we do need to drop, we drop to this taxi. Don't be playing out on the crossing like this, because can you see how we open up our angle onto all these guys here and we can take some extra damage? We don't want that to happen. So if you can, play off to the side where this taxi is. Only repeat the Doom when you feel like the beam's going to drop. Remember, we have that beam linger for about 1.3 seconds, I believe it is. So after you've had that time, you can then re-peek it to go and start healing and then pop back, basically. We don't need to kind of like just be stood out in the open like this, okay? Sadly, our Doom falls, but there is nothing more we can do here. Don't be G'ing into him, though, because remember, getting closer to him is not going to do more healing, alright? It's still going to have the exact same effects where no matter what distance you are, as long as you're still in that beam range. So make sure that we're still playing back here and just playing around here, basically, alright? We don't need to be, like, G'ing ourselves in like this. Sadly, Doom does fall, but there's nothing you can do, because probably Curious Heals will probably end up getting eaten up by the D.Va, and only yours to kind of, you know, help the Doom there, so that's not on you. We just have to kind of see what you're going to do here. So nice. Obviously still playing back with our Genji. Can't do anything for your Widow there, because obviously she's just being dove by 3 people. Yeah, nice little reset. Don't be too scared to do a full reset here, because you still want to try and play kind of pushed up a little bit with your Genji in case he does get a pick off. So if you want to try and flick yourself up once again onto this sign here, play up with this Genji, still play like aggressive with him basically, rather than going straight back to spawn here, because we don't need to be going like straight back here. So we can still like play with our Genji up here and play just kind of quite passively and cool up here with him. That's so good. We keep going. Nice pushing up with your Doom here. Nice waiting for him to obviously, you know, clear the space before you go and res. Very, very nice. You've ended up healing here, which is fine. In this scenario here, play your life, okay? Because you slinging out here what is it going to do, okay? Because you don't have anyone around here to help you, okay? Because you've just read your Widow. Your Widow's not going to be able to do anything. She's going to obviously be punched out and then die. Your Doomfist has obviously been doed by a lot of people. So unless if he, you know, punches himself out to a health pack, he's also going to die, okay? Instead of you G'ing yourself, like, through here like this, literally just do a wall bounce here. Because you were, like, playing back here, weren't you? Doomens get picked off. Okay, that's fine. Woo! And you're already back to spawn. And then, obviously, then you can obviously go back with your team if the demon's not chasing you down, if you get me. So, we don't need to be... You know, we don't need to kind of, sling out like this, basically. We can actually, you know, just, like, play out, play safe over here. And then as soon as Doom dies, just reset and go again. Because after you've lost them too and you don't have your res, we can't do anything. Alright, we keep it going though. That's a good reset, go again. It's unfortunate because you're playing kind of two people here that aren't great into the Symmetra. But see what we can keep doing here. Nice. Nice little cancel as well. Oh, hold on, where's my mouse? Where's my mouse? If you want to do the GA cancel here, by the way, don't GA cancel so you're once again in LOS with these guys. Do the GA cancel down here. So you're making the D.Va, like, pick between either going to dive you or keep diving the Doomfist, okay? We don't want to be kind of stood with him. So if we want GA down to here to be able to help the Doom by doing a little, like, GA bunny hop or a GA cancel or something over to here. And then we can go back to go and help, like, the Genji or something if the D.Va starts to dive us or something. We don't want to be over here, basically. Alright, keep going though. Nice sling back into spawn though. Nice. You want to go back into go and help Genji here though. Because right now your Genji's still doing stuff, okay? Obviously he's come back to spawn now, but he's still holding the space really well. We want to try and keep up the pressure with the Genji here, with you being here, so we can avoid this Mercy going for a res. Because obviously if this D.Va just pushes up and pushes the Genji out, Mercy gets a free res. We want to try and hold our ground here just until our Doomfist comes back, so then we can completely, you know, knock off this res. Because we don't want our Mercy, we don't want this Mercy to res here. All right. So just stay pushed up with your Genji here, even if, like, you know, what's it called? Our Moira stood in spawn doing whatever, okay? Make sure we're still going back out to go and help our Genji. Alright, but keep on going though. She's doing a little dance, as you do. Nice. And yeah, they do end up getting the res off, which is unfortunate. Nice. Very good damage boost there. They do have res for Eva. Don't be afraid to wait for this, by the way. Don't be afraid to, what's it called? To wait for the Sojourn bubble to go before we go through it, because we don't want to take once again that excess damage in case, you know, we end up getting, you know, shot by someone basically as we're coming, like, back basically. So don't be afraid, just kind of wait it out for a second and then go through to go and help these guys. It doesn't matter if you're like a little bit of like a second too late here, especially because everyone's quite healthy. So don't be afraid to play your life there a little bit more. Nice helping Moira. I don't really understand this Valk from you. I'm gonna be honest, Cozy. The reasoning is because I don't think we need it, okay? Obviously, so we go and heal our Moira, and our Moira orbs herself, okay? That means that she's going to be completely fine, especially with the Doom coming to come and peel for the D.Va. All you have to do here is just simply do a GA to your Genji. Do a GA to your Genji here, obviously to top him up. And then we can go into, obviously, to go and help our Doomfist with the D.Va a little bit sooner. Because I like what you did with the Valk. I just don't like your reasoning behind the Valk. Because I feel like we could have saved it for a little bit later. Or just, like, have not used it, basically. I don't know about my Valks either. No, it's alright. But this isn't a moment where I'd go to Valk. Because, you know, we don't really need to. Because everyone's still quite safe and everything. I would rather you look to Valk when you demech this D.Va in a second. And then you go to push forward. I would rather you Valk them. But it's fine. I respect what you've done with the Valk, though. I would say I would have used the start of the Valk here. Instead of you healing up your Moira, I would have used that to heal up your Genji first. Use the start of your Valk to heal up your Genji, and then go and push the damage boost like you were doing in a second here. Because I love this push on the damage boost here. So obviously try and get rid of the D.Va. We're kind of obviously hopping over the top just to try and avoid the bombs. That's all good. Coming back to our team now. Same thing again. Don't be afraid to push damage boost here. Nice little whack with the staff. Nice. Okay, awesome. we've ended our Valk though. What are we doing now? Who's our main blue beam? It's gonna be our Genji still, okay? Especially because he's nearing his blade. We want to try and get a clean blade off. We don't have nano or anything else to pair with it, so we need to make sure that we are there to be able to help with the blade, okay? So as soon as this Valk is finished, I respect obviously that you want to try and clear up the D.Va by doing a damage boost. Once that's done, allow those guys to push up, in that carriage. We drop down and we go and play with our Genji here. We play with our Genji, help him get rid of these turrets, and help try and maybe get a pick off here while everyone's focusing on the tunnel with your Doom coming through there, alright? Just a little bit being priority here, because obviously we're playing a very mobile comp, which means obviously, yes, we can go and sling ourselves about and play with all these guys very, very nicely, but we just want to make sure that we definitely know who our main blue beam is, which is going to be our Genji. Alright, keep it going though. Nice damage boost on the punch in though. Very, very nice. Nice move with the blade. Nice damage boost on the slings. Nice. Very, very nice. I love your flicks onto the damage boost for the key abilities. Like when the Genji was slicing his blade and the Doom was obviously punching there here. Very, very nice use of damage boost, Cozy. I love that from you. Do be afraid to flick it on there again a little bit, though. Very, very nice. Awesome. Push forward now. Just do this as GA cancel here. Do this as a GA cancel, because these guys are not going to push forward from this point now, especially because they've lost their D.Va. They're going to really, really struggle, okay? Obviously, Doom dives in and dies like an absolute idiot, alright? But don't be afraid just to do a little GA cancel here or something. And then, maybe go and res our Tracer if the Doom decides to go in and dive and die. Before we, just do a straight sling back here, because we don't need to. Alright, keep it going though. At this point, yeah, just reset, because obviously there's no point resing your Tracer and everyone, especially when it spawns nearby, which is what I like. Very, very nice. Okay, awesome. Nice top up on your what's it called? Your Moira. Same thing over your position here, right? If I know that this window bit is currently open right now, I'd be playing here instead. The reason why I want you to play here is because you're blocking this entire chokehold. Because you can see by the way that you're positioned now, yes, you've got this cute little pillar like this, but this is only going to cover so much. Okay, this is because you're still going to be able to peek the exact same angles, and the soldier's going to look to see when you're going to peek to get your beams back on in order to shoot you, okay? How can we rectify this? Close off the angle completely. Close off the angle completely. So the only one you're really struggling with is the Sojourn. If you see the Sojourn obviously having an angle and you're sliding towards you, you could just drop back for a second. Drop back for a second. If she obviously wants to slide into your team, then that's on her, and you can kind of like just, play ring around roses with her. But we can just, completely just block off her LOS like this. We're not taking that little bit of excess damage that we don't need to. We can instead just kind of play off to the side like this and just damage boost all these guys as we're doing here, and just obviously look through the wall to see how our Doom is doing and everything. We don't need to be looking at the team fight 24/7 like this. Alright, we keep on going though. Very, very nice. Fortunately, your Moras are getting picked off. Nice res. Okay, I don't like your movement here, and the reasoning is because you're GAing before the D.Va gets a chance to dive, okay? Right now, I love this res. This res is perfect. Now, instead of you slinging yourself up to the Tracer, because what is this going to do, okay? Your Tracer's too far away from the D.Va to be able to do anything to the D.Va. And Tracer obviously ends up blinking down here. But remember, your Doomfist is full HP, and they're just chasing up on staggers because the D.Va is, kind of a little bit overextended, okay? Still, just play where you are. Play safe, play damage boost in the D.Va, and then when the D.Va comes to dive to you, then you can use the Tracer, or then you can use your Genji to sling yourself up and away to like a high ground or something away from the D.Va. Whenever you're playing against a D.Va, you want to make her use her boosters first, because if you do your GA first, which is what you do, this sends alarm signals to the D.Va, like, haha, Mercy just used her, what's it called? Her like, movement ability, and it's going to be on cooldown for, like, a second or two, especially because you've super jumped as well with it, so it's got the extended cooldown. Nom, 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 and she's going to kill you, alright? if you need to do this GA, make it a cancelled one, because doing a super jump here is not getting you any better kind of coverage. You're also not going to be able to help out too much with this 1v1 or anything, because they should be fine clearing up these staggers here. So there's no desperate need for you to be here. If you want to be with these guys, sling yourself forward more. If you want to be with these guys, sling yourself up onto this high ground or something to get yourself far away from where the D.Va's going to be boosting to you. Which I guess is another key rule when playing against D.Va, is if you do need to GA while she's still got her boosters online and ready, make sure that you're GAing somewhere where it's going to be extremely hard for the D.Va to be able to get back to you, alright? But if you can, either make it so you don't need to GA, or do a GA cancel, because then you can quickly change directions and be away from her, basically, alright? Because we end up kind of not so much giving her a free kill. I mean, I don't know whether you die here in a second, but we're kind of making ourselves a target by using our GA before she uses them boosters, alright? So just play with your Genji for a sec. Just play the damage boost these guys. If she goes to you, then you can G yourself away, and preferably from a high ground, so it's going to be harder for her to get to you, basically. And then we just carry on the team fight from there. I'm going to see whether you get picked off here and what you do. So nice, obviously, dropping down, and you're coming straight back to your Moira for that little bit of help. Yeah, it's just unfortunate that we should have used our second GA. So once we kind of like realized that we can't really get to our Moira that nicely, look to do a sling away, okay? Look to do a sling away either to, there's a health pack around here. Yeah, there's a health pack over here. So we can sling ourselves to the health pack to get ourselves a little bit of extra HP. Or we can sling ourselves really, really far away, like over to here. And there's another health pack over here, okay? We just want to make sure that we, you know, we're slinging ourselves to a health pack. I would recommend this one, personally, rather than that one, because obviously there's a lot more like natural cover and everything, and it's a bit further back, so it's harder for the D.Va to, you know, come and to dive you, basically. But we just want to make sure that we're kind of making sure that we're not kind of just relying on our Moira for the heals here, but we're getting ourselves far away and as safe as possible to help survive ourselves, okay? Because when you're in plat, you can't really trust your teammates as much as, like, say, for example, a Masters or like a GM lobby, where you can very much trust your second support to, you know, if you come back, they're going to top you up and keep you up and alive, okay? You have to kind of like keep yourself alive and keep yourself safe, which you can do by simply doing a GA over to here. Alright, but keep it going though. Just unfortunately end up getting picked off, but we could pick off the D.Va and end up winning the team fight anyways, which is great. Alright, let's keep going though. So obviously we're just gonna be coming back. Very nice for your Moira's to come and pick you up as well. A little goodbye as well. Very, very cutesy. Nice. Already making it back up to your team, which is very, very nice. Get your beam onto your Doomfist quicker here. The reasoning is because I know that there's going to be multiple people pushing through this room right now, and your Tracer's pretty safe and kind of like backed off. Just top up your Tracer a tiny bit until that self-regen starts kicking in, and then go straight to healing your Doom a little bit sooner. Just because I was a little bit conscious of your Doom falling here, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, you know, is the Doom going to fall? So I like it how, you know, you still managed to keep him up a little bit, but just make sure we're getting the beam on a little bit sooner if we can. Alright, let's keep going though. Nice, okay. My one key thing about this is always, when you're playing with tanks like Ball and Doom, and sometimes D.Vas, if they're just flying all over the place, they will do stuff like this, and they will just punch away and just do whatever. Because you have to think, okay, they've got their health back, they're a tank, they're going to go and create space, okay? Now, when they're playing another dive tank, that's going to allow them to either A, go back to go and peel for their team, or commit another dive, which obviously is on to you, alright? So as soon as this Doom goes to dive in, don't be afraid to use him to then use a sling to get back down to cart, because that's where you know where your Moira is. So you can, you know, kind of like vibe with her for a second to, you know, re-evaluate your decisions and see kind of like where your team is, okay? Don't be afraid to use him to kind of GA yourself down rather than what you do in a second here, which is you end up kind of like just sitting here and then using a weird GA into her, okay? Once the D.Va kind of loses you, don't start shooting at her. Instead, just drop straight down to point, okay? Because if we look at her health bar and then we look at ours, are we going to win this 1v1 if we start pistoling her? No. Because there's no way we're going to be able to demech a D.Va that's like this much HP, okay? We just need to back off, realize, yeah, okay, we can't do anything here, and just simply go down to the point a little bit sooner here. Don't take this 1v1. Which is what you end up doing in a second, which is really, really great. But I want you to do this a little bit sooner just to make sure that we're keeping ourselves safe. But nice. Nice. That is Did you, I'm guessing you didn't see her, unfortunately, because I saw it and I was like, oh, you're gonna get remixed on. That is so unfortunate. Okay, let's quickly talk about it. So, this is fine. I would rather you played a little bit safer on the just in case there was LOS with the bomb. So make sure that we're playing a little bit more like safer onto cart. Also, the second reason is if people are coming back from spawn, like for example, like their Mercy is, we don't want to be peeking in case like the Sojourn's back and she just starts like railgunning us and everything. So we don't want to do that, alright? So just make sure we're playing a little bit safer here and we're just keeping an eye on these guys. Now, unfortunately, your Doom ends up falling. And then I can hear the D.Va come to jump down, and that's where she's going to remech, okay? Why is she going to jump down and remech? Okay, it gets you accidentally, okay? But this is not intended for you. The reason why she's going to jump down is because you still know your Genji's alive up top, okay? If the D.Va just wants to try and remech here, she's going to die because the Genji can very easily do like a nice little combo on her. Just, you know, shoot, shoot, dash. And she's going to die before she gets the remech off, okay? So she's, you know she's going to drop. You know she's going to drop to obviously move away from the Genji. So just play a little bit safe here. Play a little bit safe and either use your Genji when you have LOS of him, like by walking back, for example, using the payload that we just created. Don't be afraid to walk back with him. So walk back with the payload. See if you can get an LOS onto the Genji before we then go to do it. Because unfortunately, we just weren't aware that the D.Va had dropped basically before we go for it. Which is sad because I know exactly what you wanted to do here because you wanted to go and res your Doom first. But it's all good. I feel like your team just have to reset this, unfortunately, because, you know, we've lost quite a few people. It's just kind of being aware of, like, of what the D.Va is going to do, okay? Think if you were a D.Va in that scenario and you've still got a Genji next to you, what would you do in that scenario? Because I feel like that helps me out a lot more with when I want to, like, position and stuff. So, yeah. But we keep it going, though. Nice. Use your Valk earlier here. When you hear that dragon becomes me, right? Valk here. The reason why I want you to Valk here is because you see both of these guys go critical in a second and you don't know who to put your beam on, okay? Also, your Moira isn't here to support because she's still coming back from spawn and the Trace has been staggered, okay? This means this is going to be a very, very hard team fight for your team to win, but obviously they want to for some reason. They want to try and give it a try. So commit with it, because obviously your Genji's committing, okay? It means that you can play your safety, so, you know, the D.Va can't really dive us, because we could just play our safety with our Valk, like, all the way back here or something, or if the Sojourn's shooting us, we could play over here or something, basically, and we could just vibe and help these guys. Stick the blue beam on when we see our Genji dash, heal for the rest of the time, okay? Because what ends up happening is we end up kind of waiting for the Genji to die, and you're like, oh, wait, I should probably Valk this, and then you Valk it, okay? Just Valk it early here. Valk it early, commit in when your team wants to aggress in, because then you can keep up that aggression with them with the damage boost, alright? So, as soon as you hear that Genji ult, I'd ult. I'm going to see what you end up doing here, though. Very nice. Very nice. Okay. There was two options for you to res here, and you chose the second one, but you kind of executed it a little bit iffily, in my opinion. But I like it, okay? Let's talk about it. So, Valkin, we're Valkin, and we know that D.Va is wanting to guard the res, so I love how you don't instantaneously go for it, because she can just dive us. So now she ends up diving away, actually using her boosters to go back into the payload to dive Moira, so that gives you a perfect opportunity to go and res. Your first opportunity was when you kind of like GA'd to the doorway and you kind of like slid above it. I would have, you know, I would have gone for the res there just because it's like nice and quick and simple, because obviously these guys haven't had a chance to come through and push it in yet. Then you would kind of obviously going off to the side here, which is okay. And then you go for this res. This is a nice res. I like this res. Only issue with it is you know these guys are going to walk through this door, okay? And the orbs here, okay? So if they walk through, you are at risk from all these angles. But remember, you're in Valk, or if you're not in Valk, you have the super jump res. Play above, because then you're really forcing obviously the Sojourn to come out and then look up. You're forcing the Brig to come out and come and look up, which is a lot harder than just coming out and just seeing exactly where you are, okay? Do the res when you're still in your Valk above like this, because it just provides you with so much more safety while you're doing this res, okay? Because it's not like there's anyone here that's like, what's it called, that's going to be shooting you while you're above this or anything either. Just Valk res up here to not take as much damage, if you get me. So play up here. Alright, we keep on going though. Obviously, you don't get booped away by the brig, which is fine. Push the damage boost. Nice. Just be careful with your positioning here because we know obviously the Sojourn's main, so I would play a little bit more closer to this pillar. But don't be afraid to push that damage boost a little bit more in this room, okay? They've abandoned the brig in here now because you know that everyone's kind of backed off from this room apart from the brig who's used her bash and everything to commit in to get you, basically. So don't be afraid to push the damage boost in this room a little bit more and just play that Valk a little bit safer so we don't end up getting taken out by the Sojourn. Other than that, apart from the Valk being a little bit too late, you played that really well. Alright? Keep it going though. Nice, obviously, you know, we're doing a sling in. Nice picking up your Genji. Use your super jump to reposition rather than our positioning, okay? We don't want to be super jumping up into the air like this, especially when it's, you know, a little bit risky. If we want to try and help our Doom here, but also help our Genji, remember, we could help 2 people in 1 GA. We don't do 1 GA to help, and then 1 GA to help, okay? What I would do here, because obviously we could, you know, our Genji's coming back to us as we're stood here. Heal up the Genji, but then you can use our Genji, or even better, use our Doom to maybe slug ourselves off to the side, like over to here-ish, because then A, we're creating that distance from the D.Va, so, you know, the D.Va has to decide whether she wants to go and dive our Moira or go and dive someone else, basically. And we can still keep up our Doom and help our Doom, because obviously our Moira is quite far away from the Doom right now. We're going to try and keep him up, ready for his, like, ultimate and everything. So remember that we can use our GA to help 2 people and make sure that we're using our GA to get that piece of cover as we're doing so to help our Doom. Alright, we keep on going though. Knives obviously going to go and help him. But do you see how you end up taking those 2 GAs where in reality, you know, you can just do it in 1, which is going to be a lot safer and a lot easier for you. I'm going to see what we end up doing now. I like obviously they're using the cover of the little glass roof. We are obviously in risk of the Hanzo. Nice GA away from him. Very, very nice. My only thing is don't rush yourself to come back into this team fight if you still need to recover HP. Because you still need to recover HP right now and your Doomfist isn't really kind of going to commit onto a target right now. He's just kind of using it to reposition himself. Don't be afraid. Just kind of sit here for a second. Let your health regen. Damage boost your Genji who is a little bit closer to you as well. Just allow yourself to kind of like help out a little bit more. And once again, bait the D.Va's boosters. Because then if D.Va realizes that you're still here and you're quite weak, then you can boot her boost. You can bait her boosters this way. And then you can do the GA really far out, okay? So I like your ideas, Cozy. I like how you're using these long slings to obviously get away from the D.Va, as you are doing. But be a little bit more mindful of when she's using them boosters and kind of bait her out, okay? Make it seem like you're going to stay there, but in reality, no, I'm going to go play with my Doomfist. Alright? Keep it going, though. Nice damage boost on this punch. Nice. Same thing again, make sure we're using our GA to position either like behind this taxi or this little bus stand here or something. We don't just want to be GAing ourselves out into the open like this. Make sure we're using our GA to like some kind of piece of cover. Other than that, really like great beam management overall, like all the way around this. Very, very nice. I just help push it in. Oh, okay, we're glocking. We're glocking. We're glocking. Maybe you can use your team just to try and get yourself that little bit of distance. Because if you do want to Glock this brig, we don't want to be doing it within her melee range, which is what we were doing. Use one of your teammates to G yourself out to make that distance. Like, for example, use your Moira or something to G yourself kind of off to this high ground here. Then you can carry a pistol yourself from here. Remember, there's not really any kind of fall off of Mercy. It does the exact same damage no matter what distance you are, right? So you can very easily just sit and just shoot the brig from here. And how's she gonna get you? You're gonna be like, haha, haha, and you know, you could literally just like sit here and shoot her. All right. So just kind of be mindful of that distance because she's quite a short range target. But you guys get the point. It's all good. We reset. We go again. Looking at ultimates we have for next team fight, we have this Coalescence, which is great to damage boost. And we're very nearing a Genji. Because we're nearing this Genji, but we're not like really like close to it basically. If we can push the damage boost at the start of this team fight onto our Genji. Because if we get this ult up for the next team fight, what do they have to counter it? They don't have Rally yet, even though we will be thinking in our heads, oh yeah, they're going to have Rally soon because they've not used it in a while. Sure, they're going to have, you know, Overclock because they've not used that in a while. And they're probably going to have D.Va Bomb as well. But, you know, we want to try and get this blade up as quickly as we can, especially because they don't really have anything to counter it at all. But we keep on going. I guess see what we end up doing. Use this sling somewhere else. So we end up slinging ourselves in. I don't like, why are we slinging ourselves forward here? We don't need to. I would rather you did this sling over to the side here so it keeps you safe for a second while you wait for your GA to kind of like see what your team's gonna do. Rather than you kind of sling yourself forward. Or if you do want to sling yourself forward, make sure we're going up onto a higher ground or something. So we've got that GA for a reason, okay? We're not just like casually just, you know, slinging ourselves forward after the GA for no reason. Alright, we keep on going though. Obviously, we do end up avoiding the bomb, which is nice. But then as soon as we've avoided that bomb, nice res as well. I do like this. Very nice. Just make sure it's a little bit close to that piece of cover, alright? We keep going though. Same thing again, don't G yourself out into the open of where these guys are. If you want to GA somewhere, GA up to this high ground and play with your beams up here just to create that distance. Because they're going to really struggle for people to get up to you now, okay? The only real well, I say there's two people that can, technically three, okay, there's technically three people that get up to you here, alright? But they're all going to use abilities to be able to get up to you, in which case you can obviously GA yourself away and down from it, okay? Sojourn is obviously the first one with her slide. But it, you know, in which case, you know, you could just G underneath her. You got the Venture, but obviously they will have to use a lot of their cooldowns to be able to get up to obviously attack you, and Mercy could potentially, but she's not going to. Alright, so just don't be afraid to utilize this high ground and make people use their abilities to get up onto this high ground, and then you can just like sit underneath them or something like this, okay? Alright, but keep on going though. Nice damage boost on Doom here. Nice. Same thing again, make sure that we're using that as a sling or like a GA cancel or something just to get our beam on and then play kind of safe and back so we don't end up having that riskiness of maybe getting hit by the Sojourn there. Sadly, Genji ends up getting taken out. Alright, they're using Sojourn ult on you. That is absolutely fine, because obviously you guys are just backing out at that point. They've wasted Sojourn ult here, and they've kind of wasted Rally a little bit as well. So that's fine. We just reset, go again. It's unfortunate we use Coalescence, but that just has to be a team fight reset there. But it's all good. Keep going. We're nearing our Valk here, and we're going to have Blade, so it means that we definitely need to try and pocket Blade for the next team fight, especially because they've used Rally now. They basically don't have anything for this Genji ult apart from a Hog Hook, okay? Which obviously, you know, you don't really have control over, alright? So make sure that we're damage boosting this Genji ult as it comes up next team fight, alright? To do this, I would make sure that I'm, because they have Hog, by the way, don't be G'ing yourself across chokes like this unless you know that he's used his hook. Because it could be that he could go past the Doom and hook you instead while you're doing this rotation. If you get hooked here, bam, that's already a teamfight loss for you guys. They're going to have to wait for you to get back. That's time waste off the clock, okay? We don't want that to happen. Instead, just wait it out for a second here and then, you know, wait for your Doom to kind of like come back to you or you get into beam range of the Doom. We don't want to risk our life for others that desperately, alright? But yeah, what I was saying here, sorry, as well, is just obviously prepare yourself to damage boost the Genji Blade. Kind of play a little bit more close and stuck to him a little bit more so you're, like, ready for it, basically. We'll keep it going. Nice. Save again, don't try and peek if we can. Res. Nice. This is a little bit of a better Valk from you, Cozy. I like it because I like that you see that your Doom is going in and you respect that he wants to push in a little bit more. I like this. I do think it's a tiny bit too early in my opinion, but you're still doing, you're having impact with it. It's a lot better than your first Valk. Well, your second Valk was good as well, but like your first Valk compared to that one is a lot better, alright? Nice improvement for that Valk. Lovely res here. Obviously, you know, making sure that everyone's back, you know, being zoned by the Doomfist and everything. It's very, very nice res here. Let's keep going. Going straight back to go and help everyone. Very, very nice. Just fortunate you can't keep your Doom up. Just same thing again, just be careful with your positioning right now, okay? We don't need to be touching the payload because it's not overtime. So don't be kind of looking over to, you know, go and touch it here. I know that obviously you do want the same beam range of Doom, but you can do this by playing up here and playing this pillar, which I guess comes to my next bit, is obviously, you know, we don't want to be in the LOS of Sojourn, so she can just shoot us down. So just make sure that we're still playing our cover usage when we're playing in this Valk. Other than that, really, really great. Love the damage boost on the blade so far. Very, very nice. Nice again as well. Very nice. Just same thing again, be really mindful of where the Sojourn is, because obviously she's slid herself underneath there. I'm going to see what we end up doing. We're going to go in above her, which is fine. Oh, I think you wanted to go into the high grab, but you need to get rid of the thing. Ooh. Don't pistol here. Don't pistol here, because this kind of ruins the whole flow of the team fight for your team. okay? So you end up obviously missing the higher ground, that's fine. And you see the Sojourn's here, okay? You're not going to be able to do anything against the Sojourn because she's full HP. She's, obviously, she don't really have, like, a charge railgun or anything here, but she can still very easily take you out, especially at the distance that you're playing. Very differently to the Brig, you want to try and play, if you want to try and 1v1 the Sojourn, you want to try and get up in her face, make it hard for her to headshots onto you as you're kind of like, haha, you know, in her face kind of thing. If we're trying to take a 1v1 at a range like this, she's gonna win because she has obviously the better like gun for that, basically. All right, so just kind of wait to link back up with your Genji, and then you can go and dive her in a second, which is what your Genji does in a second. You'll see in a second. Your Genji goes and dives. I would rather you were there to damage boost with that dive. If you go and damage boost with that dive, with that Sojourn, onto that Sojourn with your Genji, she dies. Because Mercy does enough damage boost now to be able to get rid of that last bit of her health bar, alright? So we want to be going in with our Genji here, damage boost in the dive, getting rid of that Sojourn, and maybe force that Mercy to come out to come and res, in which case we could then go on top of her as well with the Genji. Alright, keep it going though. We'll see what ends up happening now. We do really want to try and... What I want you to do here is you know this Genji's dove in here, okay? So why are we not going to go and help him? I know that you're afraid of this hog, which is completely fine. Completely, you know. But we have people still available to be able to, you know, use to get to him, okay? We can use our Moira, for example, you know, GA and use her and then use it as a big sling to be able to get back to go and help the Genji by G-ing yourself around the back of this pillar like this, basically. There are ways that we can still go and try and help this Genji, because what you end up doing is, like, you kind of don't realize that the Genji has actually managed to pick off the Sojourn by himself. And then is, you know, trying to battle against respawn as, like, the Venture and the Hog that's just gone and walked onto him, okay? You're very much oblivious to it. You're just like, damage Miss Moira, you know, because obviously that's whoever's in your sight at that point, okay? You need to really listen out when you're playing Mercy. Listen for, obviously, your Genji and, you know that your Genji's going to dive onto the, what's it called? The Sojourn, because that's his job. And you're going to go and make sure that we're backing up and helping him with that. Alright, but keep it going, though. We can see what ends up happening here. Hog's gonna have Hook right now. Yeah, because Hog's got Hook here, we know our Tracer's going to want to blink away. Wait for the Tracer to blink away before we use our GA, because I'd rather use that than to do like a GA bloody hop to come around here or something, just so we're not, what's it called, we're not going to get picked up by the Hog Hook. Because if we wait for a second, wait for the Hog to try and hook the Tracer, then it's like a free GA for us. Or we get the beam onto our Tracer and then do a wall bounce to get out as well. We could do either or of them. Keep it going though. Remember, don't GA in unless if you you need to. Nice damage boost here, though, obviously, to try and pick these guys off. Nice. Okay, I like this. I like this committed in with the Doomfist here. This is fine, especially because you know the Venturals behind you. And you expect Tracer to blink away from it. Tracer obviously doesn't do that, so that's not on you, because obviously you want to try and enable and dive in with the Doom. That's completely fine here. I respect all that movement there. That was very, very nice. My main thing is obviously you know that you know the Venture's there and we want to try and back off a little bit. Unfortunately, Doom does end up doing that. But you did the absolute right thing here of doing that. Nice, obviously, you know, trying to back yourself out. Nice. Just make sure we're not cheating ourselves back in here, okay? If we want to back out and nobody else has done like your Genji and your Moira, then you just back out. Don't look to kind of GA in to try and like help them out or anything, because if they go in there, that's on them, because they're just dying for no reason whatsoever. You know, they want to like try and get that quick reset. So if we want to back out, we just back out. Don't look to try and get anyone out, just back out. Keep going. Don't re-peek it yet, because we want our Tracer to try and touch it for us if we need to. We don't want to try and bait her out. Nice G, obviously, to go and help her and everything. Very, very nice. Don't be afraid when your Tracer goes and blinks across for the Venture. Don't be afraid to sit and damage boost this, okay? Because we want to try and damage boost whoever's doing the damage. Your Doom at this point is going to be the one to touch, because your Tracer's decided to take this 1v1, okay? So don't be afraid to do a GA cancel, start damage boosting your Tracer to take the Venture 1v1, and then go and help your Doom in a second, just to make sure we're getting the most out of our beams. Alright? Keep on going, though. Obviously, we're just linking ourselves to point just to try and keep the overtime, which is fine. keep your distance though, okay? Because we are safe from this whole hog that's happening right now. We don't want to G ourselves in to then get backed off again and take like any, you know, excess damage basically. All right, so when we send ourselves over to the side of the points here, don't be afraid just to vibe onto the point, okay? Genji's gonna come and dash in as he has done, so obviously dive the Sojourn. You can literally just vibe on this point and just wait for the Genji to dive. Wait for the Genji to dive. We can go in and go in damage boost. Bada bing, bada boom. We're safe from it all and everything. If we need to, we can obviously get ourselves behind this kind of pillar board here, but we don't need to be once again going up ourselves up into the air like this as we have been doing. Okay, there's no need for us to G ourselves into the enemy team here because we're safe. We've gone to the other side of the payload and we're really, really safe from all these guys right now. So just vibe and stay here. Alright, we keep it going though, we can see what's happening. Nice damage boost. Obviously, nice pick onto the Moira. By staying on this side of the payload as well, it avoids possibly getting hooked by the hog as well, because obviously the hog's still playing on this side, okay? So, just once again, keep playing on this side, because that's the side that the enemies are not on. That's what we end up doing. So, Briggs rallied. And yeah, because we end up doing this GA, like, from this side to this side, it ends up, like, basically meaning that we end up getting picked off because we've already used our GA, okay? If we want to play on this side, we play on this side until, like, for example, the Brig Force is onto us or something, then we can go back and use one of these guys to sling ourselves just away from the point for a second. It's okay if we're away from the point for a second to allow us to regen, because someone else will obviously pick up the slack and start contesting the point there, alright? So just making sure that when we feel like we're going to start being at risk, then we look to back off. Alright, we keep it going though. I'm going to see what your team end up doing here. Unfortunately, your Doom's ended up falling because he's got in quite aggressively. Your Genji's bleeding. I'll see whether he gets anything with that. Because you have Valk, I don't mind you not swapping here because obviously you want to try and get back in with Valk. And yeah, it's all good. But Cozy, you're playing really well so far, okay? First of all, I love your beam management. I feel like you're pushing the damage boost really, really well onto certain people's, like, key abilities and everything, which is really, really great, okay? The main thing that I feel like you're struggling with right now is your positioning, okay? Because it's either you get yourself into a really, really good position and then you just move from it for like, no reason whatsoever. Okay, so my first thing for you is to keep these really good positions that you sometimes get yourself in, and just keep them, okay? If you're safe, stay in that space, stay there, okay? If you feel like, you know, you need to rotate, then look to see, obviously, if the enemy have got their cooldowns on first, like, for example, like Hulk Hook or, like, the Diva boosters or something, just so that we're obviously not G'ing ourselves, and then they can just dive onto us, okay? If we're safe and we don't need to move, and they've got stuff like that in order to dive us, then just play where we are. Play where we are of, you know, force the Diva to boost onto us and then we can rotate ourselves somewhere else or something instead, okay? My second thing is I feel like it's a little bit of your awareness, Cozy. With this a few times where we end up kind of just getting ourselves a little bit lost and we're like, we don't know where people are, okay? One key thing I could say to you with that is just kind of think to yourself, what would you do as that person, okay? So you had a Tracer. What would you expect your Tracer to be doing and where would you expect them to be? You would expect them to be on the back line trying to attack like their Mercy and they had a Brig, didn't they, right? So, or like the Sojourn or something. You'd expect the Tracer to be blinking around the side of the last point to go and attack, okay? You'd also just be expecting your Genji to kind of just be playing points as he has been doing. And your Doom was doing, like, Doom things, basically. And expect your Moira to be kind of, like, hanging around points as well, okay? If you kind of know the general vicinity of where people are going to be playing, it will help you out with your movement so much more. Because you can kind of expect where they're going to be, and then as soon as you're you know, in LOS of them, you can use them to J yourself away. But without that, Cozy, you're doing really, really great. We talked about Valks as well. But the main thing for you right now is literally just trying to make sure that we're keeping nice positions and we're not either walking out to the open or we're doing rubbish GAs that we don't need to do. Alright, we keep on going though. Fast forward it a tiny bit more so we're ready to start. We have Soldier now, obviously a way better damage boost target because I felt like you were struggling a little bit last time with obviously being able to damage boost people. Okay, don't want to interrupt. But yeah. Okay, awesome. Nice. Be mindful of positioning now, though, because obviously I know that you want us to try and stay for the damage boost at the start, but then be a little bit more mindful of your position, and you can actually sit on top of this taxi if you want to. Try if you can do that, and then you can obviously flick around to try and help your Sojourn here, okay? But we don't need to be hanging about here as much as we are, but keep going, though. Nice help for your sim. Very, very nice. That's on your soldier. That is completely on your soldier. Don't say you're sorry. Don't say you're sorry at all. This is completely on your soldier. Why is your soldier pushed up this far? Don't know. We can't help that. But I like how you weren't playing out here, trying to keep on him as well while you're doing so, because that's how you die. Okay. So I love how you've had the initiative to realize what is he doing, and then obviously you've gone around here. Very, very nice. Very well played here. Okay. I'm gonna see what you do now though, because obviously we've lost the soldier. We look obviously the damage boost sim. Nice. Nice. I like your balancing of the beams here, especially because you know you can see your honor rotating back here. So nobody's here to help like keep these guys up. So I once again love the speed management from you. Very, very nice. What is it with people? So you're once again, you're doing the right thing here. The reason why I don't want you to follow upon any of this, because you got the Junkrat, and so many people walk into a small room with a Junkrat, which is an absolute no-go. You don't want to do that at all, okay? But your soldier and then your Doomer has just done that. But that's fine, because you're doing the absolute right thing by not doing that. Nice, Cozy. We keep going. We can expect them to start pushing in a little bit more now, by the way, so don't be afraid, because I liked what you're doing to begin with, to obviously back yourself up the stairs a little bit more. I'd be looking to use this to get up here, okay? Because then that means you can still help these guys, and you also have a better view of, like, where you can GA to in a second to be able to get yourself back. Because we know that these guys want to start pushing forward a little bit here. Yes, they've lost their Mercy, but you've lost your tank, and that's technically more dire in this scenario, okay? So they're going to be looking to start pushing in at least like through this chokehold and start controlling like this area here basically. So don't be afraid just to play up here until you see that your soldier starts backing off, in which case then we can do our GAs kind of like go off to the side or something like that. Alright, we keep it going though. See what ends up happening. So we're using our sling here to get back with our sim, which is fine. Remember, our soldier's back. Okay. I was just about to say, our soldier's back. He's died. But don't be afraid to obviously put the blue beam onto him as soon as, you know, the sim's, like, out of that range. This res is okay, but don't rush it, okay? Because the Doom has used his abilities to punch himself back because he's low HP, because he doesn't have an honor or a brig or anything to kind of like just took an orb on him to get himself back into the team fight really, really quickly, he has to sit here and wait for the BAP to re-heal him before he goes back in. This means that you have more time with this res, okay? Because you want to avoid being an LOS of people like our Sojourn, okay? So what we do here is I like your initiative with the res. I like that you want to do this res quickly, but take that ever so slight extra second just to make sure that you are behind this pillar for when you do this res. Because if you are behind this pillar, you're going to block LOS of the Sojourn. Doom is not going to be able to get back to you. And then while you're doing this res, look at your honor. Honor's going to be your escape route here, because what's going to happen is once you've done this res, Doom's going to realize, Mercy's res! And he's going to obviously try and come die for you. But in which case, oh, look, I've already used my GA and I'm already like really, really far back and I'm all the way over here. Alright, keep going then. We'll see what's up happening with it. Look, you don't end up taking too much damage for it, which is fine. Once again, instead of doing a vertical super jump here, do a sling instead. You want to use a sling here because you don't want to spend too much time in the air, because as you can see, the Sojourn's currently like trying to track and shoot you right now. If this was a higher ranked lobby, you'd be dead, because the Sojourn would just have like that good tracking basically. So if you do want to get up to this top room here, use this as a sling rather than a super jump, so you can get into that cover a little bit sooner than what you are doing. Right, but keep going though. Nice healing on the honor. And nice. Looks like you guys end up holding it quite well, which is nice. Nice helping with the sim as well at the end. Very, very nice. Very well played here, Cozy. You don't need to fall back as much as you did here, by the way, to the honor. You can literally just use your honor, just do a quick reset, check that she's okay, and then come back to go and, like, you know, reset with all these guys. It's all good. Very, very nice. Overall, Cozy, I like your decision making throughout the entire thing. It's just how you execute it, okay? I want you to use that sling a little bit more, just to get there a little bit quicker. They don't have the Mercy now, though, which means I want you to stay with your soldier more. Because now that the Sojourn has lost the Mercy, it's going to make it 10 times harder for your Sojourn to take the 1v1 with your soldier, okay? So try and stay with your soldier a little bit more. Don't worry too much if you're, you know, people start taking a little bit of damage off to the side, because you have honor to heal these guys. I'd rather you put kind of a lot of your resources to staying with your soldier right now. But we'll keep going. Because as well, your soldier's going to do a lot more damage at this range, and probably a lot more like consistent damage, rather than your sim doing the spam. Plus, as well, if we're looking at ults, we want to try and get our soldier his ult as well, because Sim already has a wall, and she'll get a load of ult charge as well when people start walking through the turrets and everything. We want to try and work on trying to get our soldier visor, possibly like helping our Ana get nano as well, by not healing as much, because then we can nano visor. Right, we keep on going though. Nice. So we can hear now that these guys are coming through the top room, okay? How are we going to adjust for this, okay? For starters, we don't want to stand here anymore. We don't want to stand here anymore because that's going to be the we're going to end up starting getting picked off and like start taking excess damage because they'll be starting to shoot the Doom. If there's any kind of stray shots, they're going to look at you, or if they are smart enough, then they'll look at you instead, okay? So you can keep helping your Doom, but then keep like, you know, start walking down this way and be looking as well at how your team's doing, okay? Because we want to try and make sure, like, for example, our Doom and our what's called, our sim are okay because they're getting dove by the Doom. So, and also your Ana's got a really, really good angle here to be able to help your Doom. So don't worry too much about staying with him right now. If you do want to stay with him, then play underneath like this. But if you don't want to stay with him, then use him to do a sling to get behind this fire truck here to help your soldier. Because remember, your soldier is your main blue beam target. Alright, we keep on going though. Because what ends up happening is the Doom ends up obviously rolling your what's it called? Your soldier here, because you've got two supports focusing on one tank, okay? This is Ana's job. Ana's job is to help the Doomfist. It's your job to go and help your DPS here. Alright, we keep on going though. Ooh, don't res here. Don't res. Don't res and don't Valk here. The reason why you Valk is because you panic the res and then you realize I'm probably going to die for this Doomfist and then you Valk it, okay? I would rather instead, I need to skip it forward a tiny bit here. Okay, so you were here. This is when I would appeal back to these guys. Is just to hear that Doomfist jump in. Use your Doom to obviously fling yourself around to go and help those guys. Love that you go and help your sim, okay? I would rather you use this opportunity here to damage boost your sim. Because if this Ana does not sleep the Doomfist, he is coming straight for you with a punch. That is your res cancelled, and that is most likely you dead as well, especially if he punches you into this this fire truck, okay? So we just don't want to give him that satisfaction. We don't want that to happen to us. So use your sling to get yourself up here and play damage boosting your sim up here, because then you're playing a split from the sim. You're making the Doomfist think, do I go and dive the sim or do I go and dive the Mercy? And it means that one of you guys have to take damage. You damage boost the sim, you get rid of the Doomfist, and then bada bing, bada boom, we go for res. Because what ends up happening is you go for the res, and then you panic, and you're like, oh my gosh, and then you pop the Valk, okay? And we've not looked at the kill feed when we know that the majority of people have already gone, okay? We've already lost the what's called the 2 DPS. So that's already a team fight 1 for us. So we don't need to Valk this at all, okay? It's much better if we think about what we're doing before we go into the scenario, and we're not just going in once again straight for the res instantaneously. We're thinking about the res before we try to go for it. Alright, we keep going though. Yeah. Oh good though. I like how you're making the most of it though. Nice. Nice aim. Very nice aim. Like how you tried to make the most of this Valk though, by going up and pushing up with your Doomfist, helping damage boost him. Very nice aim on the BAP as well. I'm going to see how you end up getting out of this though, because remember, the Doomfist hasn't died, so we want to try and make sure that we're not falling to him as we're backing off. But very, very nicely well played to try and get value out of the Valk, even though it's a bad Valk. Alright, nice. Keep it going though. Nice. Just back out here because they're going to start pushing in. Okay, nice. We have Tyre. Okay. My big piece of advice to you here with this is don't sling yourself far and away like this. Because I was scared you were going to GA to the Ana and then play with the Ana. We don't want that to happen, okay? I would rather you did your sling with your soldier, okay? I would rather, so Tyrants are coming in. So you're here firing the hole, okay? I would rather you used your sling to get yourself back here. Because what's going to happen is then your soldier's going to sit here and revive and then shoot it. And you could just sit your beam here. As long as you play far back so the Tyre's not going to be able to hit both of you at the same time, you have a chance of your soldier destroying the Tyre before anything else happens, okay? So just, once again, we know soldier's going to be our main blue beam target. stay with him, back off with him, and then you just, once again, you sling yourself a little bit further back from that, so we're not going to get hit by the tire. We can just sit and damage boost it over here. Alright, but keep on going though. So we do end up hiding from the tire really, really well. But I feel like we could have tried to take it out if we stayed with our soldier. If we do want to hide it, by the way, don't just be walking around as you're doing. This provides footstep noise, which can indicate to the Junkrat that's where you are. And obviously, you know, the Junkrat wants to try and pick off the support because it's, once again, more valuable. You especially, because obviously if he picks off the honor, then you can just res it. But if he picks off you, there's nobody to res it, okay? So they're going to be really looking to pick you off during this tire. So if we do want to hide here, make sure we're crouching. Crouch, reduce the footstep noise, because then, you know, the Junkrat's not going to know where you are as much. Alright, but keep it going though. So it picks off the sim. I'm going to see what we end up doing here. Nice. Sim walls up, so that's fine. Like as well that you look for that escape route as well after it's happened. Very, very nice. Awesome. Why are we jigging ourselves back to here though? We know that they're in main, okay? And also, sim is not our main blue beam target, okay? After you've done the res and you sling yourself out, commit to it. Sling yourself back out to here now, or just do a GA buddy hop or something and commit with the soldier here. Soldier's our main bleeding target. He's coming to visor, and we want to try and play with his visor next, okay? So make sure that we're playing over to here with our soldier. Alright, keep it going though. Nice, the sim's got a TP back, which is nice. Nice sling off to the side here. Nice. I would be pushed up a little bit more here. When your Doomfist goes to ult, you know he's going to go and ult into the backline and be aggressive. So push up and be aggressive with him, okay? No, I don't mean go up into the backline and go be with him, okay? But I want you to kind of be pushed up more towards like where your DPS are. Be more pushed up towards here, because then if the Doomfist starts to get weak and he starts to come back, he has to go less of a distance. Because, for example, if you're still stood all the way back here like you are doing, he's going to have to come out to pretty much like where these tacks are to be able to, you know, have the beam on. Whereas if you're stood here, you get your beam onto him when he's like near this barrier, okay? The earlier you can get to your Doomfist here, the quicker you can get the beam on, the easier it is to keep him up and keep him alive after he's gone in for this risky like move, basically, by going in very, very deep with the ult, alright? So just push up a little bit soon here, play aggressive, waiting for him to come back so we can end up, obviously, you know, help healing for him when he comes back. Keep it going though, but same thing again, make sure we're damage boosting our soldier here more than our sim. Because soldier's going to do more damage. Now, see, playing that taxi like I was saying earlier. A lot better. Alright, start backing off now, because obviously, you know, our Doom's not being aggressive now, so this is when we back off. I'd back off up into, like, the stereo bits here. Playing up here as well if you want to, so we can sit and just kind of vibe with these guys. Keep on going. Unfortunately, that is not on you. You cannot help a Doomfist charging into your backline and two-tapping an Honor because he's got a charge punch and your Honor's just got a bad position. You can't do anything about that. That's just is what it is. Alright, I'm going to see what you end up obviously doing with this though. Because he's using his ult. Okay, so when this happens with Doomfist and we see our Honor die, okay, we cannot get this res off, okay? Because if we look at our Honor's positioning, this is extremely poor from our Honor. This is not on us at all because, you know, we can't help our Honor's bad positioning. We can't help what happens to her here, okay? This is just, it is what it is. Doom just walks in. What can we do here, though, to help our team, okay? Because we've lost our Honor. What are we going to do here? Alright? I'll keep it playing. So, Meteor Strike. We can hear Doom ult, okay? At first, I would like you to try and distance yourself a little bit here. So maybe distance yourself, like, all the way back here. We want to try and then save our GA for when the Doomfist, you know, uses his ult down, basically. So we want to try and create that distance. Because what ends up happening is you kind of, like, just sit here, like, dum-de-dum-de-dum-de-dum. And then what ends up happening is these guys end up getting really, really close to you. Like this. This provides an absolute free reign, and then you doing this extra mini GA for no reason here. This just means Doomfist can just land on you, okay? If you need to let people come close to you, make sure you have that escape route, like your sim over here, for example. Look for that long GA away, or look for a long sling away or something, basically. Because we want to try and make sure that we're saving our GA for this Doomfist ult, alright? Because what ends up happening is you do like this mini GA for no reason, which isn't getting us any kind of better positioning. We're still stood out in the open. And then the Doomfist just lands on us and we die. okay? I would rather you saved your GA, or even better, you were already like pre-backed off basically, and then we could obviously go back in with your soldier visor and stuff like that and just win out this team fight. Keep it going though. We're gonna see what ends up happening with your team. The soldiers are getting quite a few of his visor, which is really, really nice. 42 soldiers get picked off though. It's just your sim. And you've got nano. If sim can stay up, you can nano. Very nice. Look to come from this side. Sorry. Woo! Clicking the wrong button. Make sure you're coming in from this side. It's quicker than that one. It also closes out an angle a little bit better. But yeah. Nice. Use your use that as a sling up onto here. So you're not just like jigging yourself up into the open again. You're using your sling to get some to a piece of cover, like over here, for example. Can't help your honest poor positioning again. Yeah, you can't do anything more than what you did there, Cozy. I'm gonna be honest. You pretty much did the absolute right things here. Let's quickly rewind it and talk about it, okay? So I think the only thing is obviously make sure that we're not using the vertical super jumps as much and we're only using the angled ones to get up into them higher grounds, right? But let's talk about this, okay? So Anna dies. Anna is in such a bad position. This is not on us once again because this is just Anna's poor positioning. She should be like kind of like back here basically, or be playing over here. She shouldn't just be stood around on point. All right. If we want to, do this res earlier than what you did. Because as soon as the sim wall goes up, these guys are too far back to do anything. So just go straight for the res. Because you kind of like sling yourself over there thinking that you're going to do it and then you don't, okay? Because the sim wall has just gone up, these guys are too backed off obviously from the, they're going to still want to try and use the window, but obviously they're backed off from the sim wall. Go into res here. Go into res here. I don't know if this means that you can keep your doom up because you obviously end up kind of like flapping about for like a second or two. I don't know if this keeps up your doom, but it means that we've got the res off a little bit sooner. We go straight back to damage boosting a little bit sooner. But keep going. That's not you. Because we end up kind of vibing about and then not really doing anything until we do that. Same thing again, make sure that we're using our GAs to get ourselves up onto high grounds. A little, like, more slings than anything. Nice, obviously trying to help our Honor. Is what it is. And then, yeah, all our team's dead. Nice, you just go into pistol just to reset and go again. You did as much as you could there, Cozy, with, it's just kind of making sure that we're doing that res a little bit sooner. But you can't help your Honor's pole position in there. But we keep going. Looks like this game's going to go for a little bit longer, which is all good. We have Kiri now, okay? Which means that, luckily, we don't need to kind of peel as much for them because they can obviously, TP about. They've got the Zuzu as well. Don't sling yourself over here, by the way. Just do, like, a GA cancel to, like, this pillar here. On this point, I love to play this pillar, okay? Because this pillar allows you to block out so much LOS and you can just peek one side depending on who you need to heal here. Because if we're doing ourselves over to here, it opens up all this kind of like stairway. If anyone's flanking from underneath, it opens up this stairway. If people want to push up from this stairway as well, it opens up all that options as well. Whereas if we're playing all the way back here, it's a lot less options to be able to get to you like really, really quickly and easily. So if you can, try just to make sure that we're being up here to begin with, but we keep going. Make sure we damage boosting soldier here. Soldier's going to be the one that's going to do the most of our damage from up here. Very, very nice. Nice. You can't do anything for your Doom there. Or your Kiri, because, they just go in very, very aggressively, is what it is. What I would be doing throughout this entire thing is playing a bit further back. And what I mean by this is we playing kind of like very much on the edge here. We know as soon as our Doom's gone and our Kiriko's gone that their Doom's going to want to come and jump onto us now, basically. So we don't want to be hanging about these guys because we want to try and make the Doom's life hard to get to us, okay? So make sure that we're doing maybe a few cancel GAs or we're playing kind of at the back of this point as much as possible. So we're not, looking to take any damage that these guys are going to take from like the Doom punches and everything. Because we want to try and get these guys safely out or at least hold our position for a second. Probably out is probably going to be the better one here. So yeah, so we're not, what's it called? We're not going to take any excess damage or, you know, die to these guys, basically. All right, we keep it going through. And then we end up just walking into the, what's it called? The dragons. It's just kind of knowing where the hands is probably going to shoot the dragons from and making sure that we're positioning ourselves out of the way from that. Or just quickly using someone to G ourselves out of the way. If we started backing off earlier, though, we wouldn't have got picked off by it. But still good, keep going. Nice. Nice punch on the Doom. Just where are we positioning with this Valk, okay? We're still positioning ourselves a little bit out in the open. Open up LOS for the Doom Fist and the BAP here, okay? Nice Valk. I respect the Valk. This is a good Valk. But do this Valk over to here instead, so we're closing off that angle. Because we can still help all of these guys by doing our Valk over here. Because nobody's on the high ground, so we can just vibe. We can just vibe up here with our Valk, like dum-de-dum-de-dum, rather than having us take some unnecessary damage by playing out here, alright? Just play over here. Like this. Keep going, though. Nice damage boost. Claudia, feel about the soldier there. Instead of you going to res here, I would rather you use the end of your Valk to do a GA to go and keep your Doom Fist up like this, okay? Use your soldier's orb to GA to keep your Doom up, because if you res soldier here and your Doom dies, there is nothing you can do, because the soldier's now just gonna be like, oh my gosh, you're just gonna get rolled by the Doom Fist in a second, okay? I would rather you use the end of your Valk to try and keep your Doom Fist up, and then, you know, used it to G yourself out again with your Sim or something, alright? Keep it going, though. Nice bit, gets us out. Be playing, because you know the Doom's going to want to punch in a second. Don't be afraid just to drop down the stairs for a second. And then we can go back to go and help these guys. Because you're very much, like, stood here like, come at me, Doom. Come at me and come punch me into this railing, which is going to knock me out, okay? Instead, just kind of, like, play off to the side. As soon as you see the Doom want to punch, we come down here. And we just avoid it. Alright? Keep going, though. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to get picked off now. We just need your Sim to get out and not stagger here. And your Doom also to not. But nice. Nice. Okay. Oh, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Okay. Sit and wait. Sit and wait here, okay? We want to sit and wait for our Sim to either TP back to us or our Doom to sling himself back to us, okay? We don't need to be pushing forward here because we don't need to touch the payload. We don't need to look to see where anyone is, okay? All we are doing here is we're waiting for our Doom to come back to us, or we're waiting for our Sim to come back to us, okay? Just sit and wait. We don't need to be peeking this at all, alright? Keep going, though. Because we want to avoid not getting staggered some more here if we can. Nice. Nice. Same thing again, make sure that we're using a sling to get some cover there, rather than just slinging ourselves up into the air. Like, if we want to help this Doom, maybe sling ourselves up onto, like, where these little flower beds are, like, over here or something. Like this. Because can you see how we're still going to be beam raging these guys, yet we're still going to be able to kind of use the symbol to be able to help us, rather than just being up in the air like this. Is this going to get ourselves good positioning? No, because our soldier could just walk along the wall and just, you know, pick us off, basically, okay? Make sure that we're still using our slings and using our GAs to get to pieces of cover, like over here, for example. Alright, keep it going, though. Nice. Same thing again, make sure that we're using our GAs just so we're not going to be in LOS of the, what's it called? Go on. Nice aim. Yeah, just make sure once again we're using those GAs to make sure we're staying out of LOS of the Sojourn. And you guys end up winning it, okay? Overall, Cozy, okay, I'm going to say to you, this is a very good game by you. I really enjoyed it, okay? Because it's very, very clear to me that you know kind of like what you want to damage boost for your team, okay? I'm going to get more into that in a second, okay? Good points, okay? I like your, what's it called? I like your B managements on people. Like, whoever you got your beam on, it seems like whenever your damage boost or heal, it's always really, really great, okay? I love that from you. Your reses as well are okay. What I mean by it's okay is it's not your biggest issue right now, but you're getting them off really, really nicely, okay? It's really, really great, okay? Especially the ones that you were doing in Valk. I like all your Valk reses. They were really, really great, okay? The majority of them were really great reses, okay? Your Valks as well, they got a lot better towards the end of the game. I enjoyed them a lot more. Just when you're doing them Valks, which I guess comes to your biggest issue I think you've got right now, when you're doing your Valks or when you're just generally playing, make sure that we're still playing in as much cover as possible and we're using movement that gets us to those places as quick as possible, okay? What I mean by this is there was a few times where we kind of like drift ourselves out into the open, which means we end up getting picked off. Or there's a few times where we're just GAing ourselves and just doing straight like up GAs and then straight up like super jumps, and then we're kind of like, you know, slowly going over and floating over to where we should be going, okay? Make those GAs more direct by doing slings. Sling yourself up to some higher grounds. Sling yourself off to the sides where you're still going to be in that beam range and you're still going to be safe, okay? Because the main key thing is that we want to try and make sure that we're staying out of LOS of people like the Sojourn, for example, yet we're still being active for our team if we can, okay? So just make sure we're using them slings to get ourselves out into the cover. And the second thing as well is you weren't spending enough time with your soldier, okay? Remember, in that team comp, soldier is your main blue beam target. Now, I love that you want to try and help damage boost others, and I love that you want to try, you know, get that damage boost onto others, which is what you're doing really, really well. But it's like when the non-team fights are happening, or like at the start of team fights, you're not healing you're not being with your soldier enough, in my opinion. You need to be able to kind of like stay with him, blue beam him some more, and play with him some more if you can. But without though, Cozy, once again, a massive improvement as well from the first VOD that I saw for you. And yeah, definitely try and climb the most of the season. With all the changes and everything that she's had recently, just do it. Go for it, because it'll be absolutely great. But yeah, just once again, thank you so much to everyone on YouTube as well as on Twitch and watching this. I upload my own gameplay onto my main channel, which obviously I'll link in the description and I'll probably tag it in at the end as well. So if you guys want to see my own gameplay, then you know you can watch that. On this channel, it's obviously all the VODs and everything. And if you guys do want your own, then I talk about it at the beginning of the video. But yeah, just once again, thank you so much for the lovely stream, just the lovely VOD, everyone, and I shall see you all later. Bye!